deep down, you sense this isn't normal. You keep clashing with the very people you care about over the smallest matters. Doors that should be opening for you keep shutting in your face. And the hardest part is not knowing whether this is just life testing your patience or if something darker is silently pulling the strings. In Islam, we're taught that witchcraft is real, and the Qur'an itself describes those who tried to separate husband from wife through it. And while not every hardship points to Sihr, there are subtle, unsettling signs that are almost impossible to dismiss, urging you to pause and ask, is this just the world being heavy, or am I under attack? The shocking reality is many people live with these symptoms for years without ever recognizing them. Most brush it off as stress, bad luck, or life being unfair. But what makes Sihr frightening isn't only that it exists, it's that you might already be experiencing it without realizing what it is. Sign 1. Drained energy with no cause. This isn't the tiredness that comes after a long day, when your body aches and sleep restores you. This is exhaustion that follows you everywhere. No matter how much you rest, you wake up weary, dragging yourself through the hours. You sit among people, but your energy's gone before the conversation begins. Doctors run tests, but everything appears normal. Friends say it's stress or overthinking. Yet, deep down, it doesn't feel natural. It's not just your body that feels heavy. It's your chest, your mind, your spirit. Scholars explain that Sihr can sap a person's strength in ways unseen, not like ordinary illness, not like simple burnout, but something that quietly drains you from within. Your body rests, but your soul does not. Your muscles may be fine, but your motivation collapses. If you've ever endured weeks or months of strange fatigue you can't explain, it's worth asking, is this simply life pressing on me? Or is something darker pulling me down? Sign 2. Repeated disturbing dreams. Everyone experiences nightmares occasionally. You wake shaken, heart racing. But by morning, it fades. Sihr dreams are different. They cling to you all day, like a shadow. You see snakes, scorpions, dark figures. You see yourself falling, drowning, running, but never reaching safety. Sometimes you see graves, blood, or people chasing you. And it doesn't happen once, but over and over. The same symbols, the same fear, as if someone is replaying them into your mind. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, taught that troubling dreams can come from Shaitan, not Allah. And many scholars explain that recurring nightmares, especially with these images, can signal Sihr. What harms you isn't only the dream itself, but the way it follows you when you wake. You feel unsettled, paranoid, avoiding sleep because you fear what awaits when your eyes close. Often, these dreams start right before something good: a marriage, a job, a new opportunity. It feels as though someone doesn't want you to reach it. When your nights become your enemy, when rest feels like an ambush, that's the time to stop and wonder if these dreams are more than random images. Sign 3. Sudden conflict with loved ones. Families argue, couples disagree. That's natural. But Sihr arguments feel unnatural. They erupt out of nowhere, sharp and vicious, leaving wounds that linger long after the words are spoken. One moment the home is calm, the next it's full of shouting. You fight over things so small you don't even remember what began it. Love becomes suspicion. Trust turns into distance. A marriage that felt steady suddenly feels fragile, as if unseen hands are pulling it apart. The Qur'an warns us about those who used witchcraft to divide spouses. It's one of the oldest weapons of Sihr, turning hearts cold, planting whispers that sour affection and disturb the home. The pain isn't just in the fights, but in how unnatural they feel, how quickly warmth freezes into bitterness, how you look at someone you love and feel only anger. If you've lived through constant conflict that seems to come from nowhere, fights that never resolve, a heaviness between people that once felt light, it may not be stress. It may be a sign that Sihr is striking at the bond itself, and that is its cruelty. It doesn't always attack the body. Sometimes it goes after your relationships, the very people who should be your shelter. Sign 4. Opportunity slipping away. You try, you prepare, you apply, you interview, you network. Everything looks hopeful, and then suddenly it collapses. The job disappears. The deal falls apart. The money you expected never comes. At first, you tell yourself it's timing, just bad luck. But when it keeps happening, again and again, when every chance slips through your fingers at the last second, it begins to feel different. As though your life is frozen while others keep moving forward. In Islam, envy and Sihr are often linked. Sometimes people don't strike at you directly. They strike at your risk, your sustenance, your path ahead. The result is a life that feels blocked no matter how much you try. You see doors opening for others, while yours slams shut before you step through. And the weight of it isn't just in the missed chances. It's in the despair it plants in your chest. You begin to doubt yourself. You wonder if you're cursed, if nothing good is written for you. But the truth may be that something is pushing your risk away, keeping you trapped in a cycle of near success and sudden failure. If opportunities always seem to vanish at the last moment, it may not be your effort failing. It may be a sign of Sihr choking your path. Sign 5. Heaviness or fear in the home. There's a kind of pressure that hits the moment you enter your own house. Outside you felt fine, laughing, distracted, busy. But as soon as you step through the door, it feels like the walls are closing in. Your chest tightens without cause. You snap at your family over nothing and you can't explain why. At night, the unease grows. You toss and turn. You wake at every sound. Children wake screaming from nightmares, refusing to sleep alone. And during the day, no matter how much you clean or brighten the space, the house still feels heavy, as if carrying something unseen. Islam teaches that the home should be a place of sakina, tranquility. But Sihr, tied to the presence of jinn, flips that peace into restlessness. Instead of comfort, you feel unsettled. Instead of safety, you feel watched. It isn't always dramatic. No objects flying across the room. Sometimes it's just constant unease, arguments with no reason, the way everyone avoids being home for too long. When your home no longer feels like home, when the place meant to restore you starts to drain you, that's when you must ask, is this really just stress? Or is something unseen pressing against the walls of your life? You wake up weary even after sleeping the whole night. Your head feels heavy, your chest feels tight. Sign 6. Unexplained sickness and strange symptoms. You go back to the doctor again and again. They take blood, run scans, check everything, and the results always say nothing is wrong. Yet you still feel unwell. It's the sudden headaches that come without warning and refuse to fade. It's the pressure in your chest that makes you fear something serious, though every test insists you're fine. It's the dizziness that appears out of nowhere, the stomach pains that rise and fall, the heaviness in your body that no medicine seems to lift. At first, you blame stress, then diet, then maybe poor sleep. But after months, even years, of chasing answers that never arrive, frustration sets in. You begin to wonder if people think you're making it up. Even your family grows tired of hearing, "I don't feel well." And this is exactly where Sihr can hide. Not every sickness is physical. Sometimes the body carries the weight of an unseen strike. It shows itself in ways no doctor can find, but your soul feels it deeply. This is why Ruqyah has always been a part of our tradition. Not as a substitute for medicine, but as recognition that not every wound leaves blood. If you've ever endured illness that makes no sense, pain with no source, or fatigue that no scan can explain, it may not be your body that is broken. It may be something attacking you from the unseen. Sign 7. Distance from worship and Qur'an. Perhaps the most terrifying sign of Sihr is not what happens to your body, your dreams, or even your relationships. It's what happens to your heart. You once prayed with ease. You felt peace opening the Qur'an. You could sit in dhikr and feel your soul soften. But now it feels different. The prayer mat feels like a burden. You delay salah until the very end, and when you finally rise, it feels empty. The Qur'an sits untouched for weeks, and when you try to open it, your mind drifts, your chest feels blocked, your eyes slide off the page. Even making dua feels impossible, as if the words are trapped in your throat. This isn't just laziness. Laziness comes and goes. Sihr can bind the heart like chains, dragging you away from Allah in a way that feels unnatural. The very practices that once gave you comfort now feel out of reach. And the longer it lasts, the heavier the guilt becomes. Why can't I worship like before? What's wrong with me? That is the cruelty of Sihr. It doesn't only target your body or your sustenance. It tries to suffocate the one link that matters most, your bond with Allah. But here is the truth. Even when Sihr pushes you back, Allah is still near. The fact that you notice the distance, that you ache to return, is proof that your heart hasn't been stolen. Because no matter how heavy the attack feels, the Qur'an tells us falsehood is weak, and Allah's light can never be extinguished. Not every struggle means Sihr is involved. Sometimes it really is stress, illness, or the tests of this world. But when the signs stack together, exhaustion, conflict, blocked sustenance, and spiritual heaviness, that's the time to pause and ask if something unseen is pressing on your life. And this you must always remember. Sihr is real. It can disturb, it can weaken, it can shake you. But it can never overcome the protection of Allah. The Qur'an is a cure. Ruqyah is a cure. Dua is a cure. And the light of Allah will always outshine the darkness of envy or magic. So if these signs felt familiar, don't sink into fear. Turn to remembrance. Return to the Qur'an. Seek Ruqyah. And above all, trust that nothing touches you without Allah's permission. And nothing can hold you if He decides to release you. If this reached your heart, share a small dua in the comments. Ya Allah, protect me and my family from every evil. You never know whose Ameen might be lifted to the heavens with yours. Until next time, remember this. The world is filled with shadows, but no shadow survives when Allah brings His light. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.